this one is Kolo Muani. Now, PSG have offered Arsenal Kolo Muani, which is interesting once again from Sammy Mokbel. Now, Kolo Muani has not been great since he joined PSG. He joined them from Frankfurt, and that's the other thing. He had one season at Frankfurt and he scored a bunch of goals. He had a very good season, and that is always the danger of signing a player who's only had one good season at a particular team, and then you sign him right away, because PSG signed him and it looked like, oh my goodness, he's going to be an incredible player, but it's not worked out for him since then. If you check the number of goals he scored ever since he joined PSG, he scored 2 goals so far this season in all competitions. He only scored 6 goals last season in the league, 9 in all competitions in 40-plus games. In the season that he played for Frankfurt, where everyone saw him, he scored 23 goals in 46 matches. So that's a goal every 2 games, which is great. And then he also had like 21 goals in a couple of seasons with Nantes, which is great as well. It's good, not great, but for his age at that time, it was good. But 2 goals since PSG signed him this season, and last season, very, very poor return once again, only scoring 6. I'm sure they're expecting a lot more from him, a lot more. And some would say Argentina only won the World Cup because Kolo Muani missed a one-on-one against Martinez. That could also be true. He should have probably won France back-to-back World Cups in that 2022. So in terms of finishing, if you're looking for someone who's clinical and is going to, score a bunch of goals for you, I don't think Kolo Muani is the answer. And if you put Kolo Muani in the market right now and you say you want 40 million, I don't think you'll hear Real Madrid one team. I don't really think you'll hear Man City one team. I don't think you'll hear Liverpool one team, really. Kolo Muani is the kind of player I can see going to Monaco, maybe a Brighton, and those teams are not bad. I'm not saying those teams are bad, but I'm saying in terms of if you're trying to win a title up against Liverpool and Man City and try to compete for the Champions League against Barcelona and Madrid, I don't think you're going to sign Kolo Muani who's going to make the difference for you. I don't think so. Now, you could come to us and make a huge change. I mean, we've seen players not doing well at a particular team and then joining a team and doing well. Havertz is a good example. Like, Havertz always scores for us, but these times he went months without scoring for Chelsea. Even those easy chances that he scored for us, he used to miss them at Chelsea. So that can happen. But how many players can we afford to bring and, give them time? I don't think we can afford to do that too many times. Now, what we need is a player who's ready. A player like Declan Rice. We signed Declan Rice. He was ready and his impact was right away. I think we need that with a forward player as well, as a player who's going to make the impact right away. There's players who we signed like Trossard. I really wanted Trossard from Brighton, but I didn't think he was going to make that kind of an impact in that season and the next season as well. He blew us away, like in terms of the goals and the assists that he had the last 2 seasons. Very, very good. But we don't have any other player. Even Jesus, when he came to us, so Jesus was pretty good in terms of delivering the goals in his first 5 months before he got injured in the World Cup. He was very good. So there is that as well. So you have to consider that. But I'm not sure if Kolo Muani signed for Arsenal right now, people will be too excited. I don't think so. And again, maybe if it was a loan deal after you've already signed a different forward player and then you get Kolo Muani in terms of just numbers, quantity, then maybe. But for now, would not get Kolo Muani. Don't think is the answer at all, unless you guys think he is. Let me know. He is, again. Kolo Muani is turning 27 this year, and Nico Williams is 22, so there's a difference there. Kolo Muani should be in his prime right now, so there's that as well. Next piece of news, let's go to this. Miles Lewis-Kelly, what a player he has been this season. Like, having him and Muani this season has really helped us. Now, Lewis-Kelly, because we've had a lot of injuries in defense, with Ben White getting injured, Timber being injured here and there, Calafiori being injured, Zinchenko being injured, Tierney being injured, Kivio, sometimes being available, sometimes not being available. Lewis-Kelly has come at the right time. Like, he's joined this team at the right time. We really needed him, because I'm thinking, like, if we didn't have him like a month ago, Zinchenko's injured, Calafiori is injured, I don't know who the hell would have been playing at left back, so he's really helped us. And same applies to Muani as well. Miles Lewis-Kelly is in line for a bumper new long-term deal at Arsenal. The club wants to secure the defender's future to ward off interest from elsewhere, as well as making him feel rewarded for his performances and progression in the squad. So this is really exciting. He was really, really happy for him, because I do remember back in the time we were playing Man City away from home earlier this season, I remember he came on and people were like, oh my goodness, this guy up against Man City when you're trying to defend a 2-1 lead with 10 men. But I actually trusted him. That's one thing that people always say that doesn't trust young players. But the truth is, with Lewis Kelly and Ranieri, he's actually trusted them because he's brought in players like Lewis Kelly up against Man City when you're down to 10 men. So that means that he trusts them. And Lewis Kelly and Ranieri have been starting Premier League matches, Champions League matches, which is great. And he has delivered. I don't think the time we threw him up against Salah in the second half, obviously Salah was going to go past him and Kivia. That was a tough task. But Salah goes past a lot of players. I think overall, so far, Lewis Kelly this season, I think you're looking like an 8 out of 10. So it's great if you gave him a new contract. That would be good. Cannot wait for what he has in the future. But that means other left backs who are still part of the club will need to leave. But we'll talk about that one later. But Fabio Vieira next up. Sami Mokbel has reported that Fabio Vieira's long-term future at Arsenal is in doubt. It looked like he was about to come back to Arsenal a week ago. The club are ready to listen to offers for the midfielder, but with Vieira on loan at Porto, the situation is unlikely to escalate in January. So it looks like Fabio Vieira is going to stay at FC Porto. He was not in the squad last time out, but the coach said he's going to be in the squad for the next game. So for Fabio Vieira, listen, when he joined Arsenal, that goal that he scored against Brentford, he was good. And last season, we started it very well during pre-season against Barcelona, against Man City in the Community Shield. He was scoring goals, won us the Community Shield. This is the final penalty. And I still think there's games last season that he made impact, like Fulham and United at home. He was very good in those games when he came on, even Everton. But I don't know, we'd not have been having this problem with not having Odegaard backup and all that if Fabio Vieira was great. And he was also injured too much as well. We signed him for 40 million. So if we do sell him, we're definitely going to go on a loss there. Again, would you guys be willing to bring back Fabio Vieira for next season, or would you be like, nah, let's sell him? I think next season, I think many teams will have to go to the direction of Chelsea in terms of having a lot of players because these competitions are too many. I think many people will now try to get 23, 24 players in their squads. And would you like Fabio Vieira to be part of that squad? Let me know. But at the moment, it looks like we are going to sell him at the end of the season. Let us see. Final piece of news is Tavares. So Arsenal will look to sell Tavares this summer if the conditions aren't met for his move to Lazio to be made permanent. So this had an obligation to buy. So I think Lazio have to buy him unless there's other things that they've said there. If the conditions are not met, he's done very well there. He's had a lot of assists, a lot of goal contributions. But in England, we know he was not the answer for us. We had him for a few seasons. And the time, as I always say, the time we signed Lokonga, the time we signed Fabio Vieira, the time we signed Tavares, those players, we were trying to fight for the top four. We're nowhere near competing for the league or getting to the quarterfinal, semi-final of the Champions League. Now, our targets have changed, and that means the players we signed 2 years ago, maybe they're now not really going to help us in terms of where we need to head. So we need to be looking for other quality players, and that could mean paying money, and that could mean selling players like Tavares. I can't see Tavares coming back to Arsenal. And right now at the club, and you have so many left backs: Zinchenko, Tierney, Calafia is a centre back, but he can play as a left back. Kivia can play as a left back. Lewis Kelly is now emerging, about to give him a new contract. Timber can play at left back. Like, we have a lot of players who can play at left back, and I don't see Tavares coming back to this team at all, unfortunately for him. So hopefully we can get that money for him, and he can move on to Lazio, whichever other team that he is going to move on to. So that's the latest in terms of that. Let me know, Kolo, Muani, Nico Williams, would you be interested in that? Would you be trying to get someone from the Premier League instead? Fabio Vieira, would you bring him back for next season? Nuno Tavares, how much do you think we should be getting for him? And also, who else do you talk about? Miles Lewis Kelly. I think everyone will be happy with Miles Lewis Kelly getting a new contract. For me, absolutely excited for the future with him and Noah Neri. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch up with you on the next one.